Hi everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric, and I'm back at you today with another video. It is Saturday, December 3rd. I hope you're having a great day so far. Today I would like to talk about 5 ways that you can reduce your appetite. And if you've been big for any amount of time, you know that it can seem like an eternal struggle trying to lose weight, trying to control your appetite, not eat the things that you want to eat, or even binge eating all the time. And I've had many times where I started a diet in the morning and I failed by the evening, and I keep telling myself, okay, I can have a cheat meal tonight and tomorrow I'll start over. And then it just becomes a perpetual cycle of starting over a new diet. And then I might get a week down the road and then I fail again. And so I've learned along the way, though, about many successes that have helped me control my appetite. But you might be saying, Tony, you failed so many times that you decided you needed weight loss surgery to help you through it. How are you going to talk to us about reducing your appetite? Well, again, I have had many successes, times where I've dieted successfully for months or even years, and I've lost hundreds of pounds over that time. The problem is that I've dealt with so many traumatic things in my life that there was certain triggers that sort of forced me to sort of get back to eating the way that I was eating before, where I was using food for pleasure. And so a lot of that is getting psychological help, dealing with those triggers if you have them. If you're an emotional eater like I was, learning not to eat to celebrate, eat when you're sad, eat when you're depressed, eat when you're bored. That's just how I've sort of lived my life. And so learning those triggers, learning how to overcome them was a big part of the process. But there's also different ways that you can reduce your own appetite on your own. And so I wrote down 5 things. I have them listed above. So if you see me looking up here, that's just me looking at my list that I wrote down. And so I'm going to get right into this so it's not a 20-minute video like some of my other ones. But number 1 is eat more protein. If you can think of your body like a raging furnace, like there's a fire inside of you, that's your metabolism, and it's constantly burning. You're constantly burning calories that you need to do everything that you do. To lift your hand up, you need calories. To blink, you need calories. To breathe, you need calories. Your brain uses calories to think. Like everything your body does, it uses up energy. So think of your body like this giant furnace that's constantly burning. And so what kind of fuel are you throwing onto that fire? If you're eating cheap carbohydrates, that's like throwing kindling on a fire. If you know anything about kindling, it has its uses, and it might be used to start a fire. But if you got a raging fire going, you're not going to throw kindling on it because it burns up like that. It's quick. And so that's what cheap carbohydrates do in your system. They burn up quick. And so if you eat a lot of sugar, if you eat a lot of carbs, let's say you're eating a bag of chips, you can sit down and mindlessly eat a bag of chips. Why? Because your body just quickly burns through it, and before you know it, you're hungry again, because that little bit of fuel did nothing for you. There's no value, no nutritional value in there, and so your body burns it up quickly, and it's like throwing kindling on a fire. But what you need to do is eat more protein, because protein acts like a big, huge log. If you've had a bonfire before, you know that throwing a huge log on the fire, it takes time to burn it all the way through. It doesn't burn up quickly. And so protein acts as a way for your body to it takes its time to burn protein. It takes its time to digest it. And so if you eat more protein, then you're not going to be hungry all the time. You're going to be more full, you're going to be more satiated, and it's going to get you through to your next meal. So try to find ways to eat more protein in your diet. Number 2 is reducing your sugar intake or eliminating it completely. Studies have shown that sugar, in a way, sort of opens up that reward pathway in your brain. And so it becomes less about appetite and less about hunger and more about satiating that pleasure reward center in your brain. Many studies have shown that you can crave sugar even when you're not hungry. And so if you're reaching out for those sugary snacks all the time, you're just going to constantly want more of those sugary snacks, even if you're not hungry. And those are unneeded calories, and it's not very nutritious whatsoever. In fact, it has 0 nutritional value to your diet at all. There was a time when I was deciding to go on a diet, And what I did was, like probably many of you, is I bought like a bunch of yogurt to accompany my diet. And so one afternoon, like right after I went shopping, I decided, okay, I'm gonna have a yogurt. And so I ate that yogurt, and it was like, wow, this was really, really good. Like, I want another yogurt. And so I went and I got another yogurt. And so I ate that really quickly. And then before I knew it, I ate every single yogurt that I bought. I bought like 6 of them. Like, I couldn't stop eating it. Like, the first one that I ate, it was just so delicious, so sugary. And so as I was trying to lose weight and my body sort of started detoxing from sugar, it's like it suddenly got its need of sugar, and it just kept wanting more and more. And I literally could not stop eating that yogurt. And I ate every single yogurt within probably a couple hours span. I just kept going back for another yogurt and another and another. And it's things like yogurt that you think are diet foods, but they're so full of sugar that they keep you going back for more, and they actually don't do anything to help you lose weight. So if you do get yogurt, get like a Dannon Light and Fit type of Greek yogurt, which is what I was eating during my pre-op diet. And I'm actually going to do another video sharing what my pre-op diet was that really helped me lose a lot of weight before weight loss surgery. So to succeed with your diet, one big change you're going to have to make is to endure sugar withdrawal. It'll just be like withdrawing from drugs, because it does open up that reward pathway, and as soon as you start feeding that reward, getting that dopamine from it, you're going to want to come back for more and more of that dopamine hit. Before you know it, it's going to be like any other addiction to drugs or alcohol, and that is it just rewards you mentally, and you're just going to want more of that dopamine, and it's going to become less about hunger and more about feeding that addiction. So number 3 is snack throughout the day. So we sort of learned from the time that we were younger that we need to eat 3 meals a day, and that can be difficult. That can be difficult at times, especially if you have a ravenous hunger within you and you can't seem to control your appetite. It's like you eat at noon, you eat lunch at noon, and then you're just kind of sitting there waiting for dinner. And dinner's is like 6-7 hours after you eat lunch, and by the time dinner comes, you're going to be hungry because you just have this appetite that won't quit. And if you're waiting that long until dinner time comes, you're going to eat more food at dinner time. You're going to fill up your plate, you're going to heap it on, and you're just going to almost go through a binge. And maybe as soon as you get home, you just grab a snack, and then you have dessert after dinner. And so you're eating 3 or 4 more meals that you just shouldn't be eating. So eating less does not always mean weighing less, because the less you eat, the more you're going to binge later, the bigger your meals are going to be, especially if you have like a cheap carbohydrate type breakfast. Like if you have donuts or pastries or things like that in the morning for breakfast, that your body's going to burn through that, like we talked about before, and then you're just going to be hungry again by lunch, and then lunch you're going to have a bigger meal, and then by the time dinner comes, you're just going to heap it on and you're going to binge, because that's just the way that our bodies work. So studies have shown that eating as much as 6 times per day can dramatically decrease your appetite. So instead of eating 3 larger meals and ordering more food because you're hungry all day, have 6 smaller, healthier meals. If you eat every 2 hours, that really tricks your brain into thinking you're eating a lot more than you are. It keeps your metabolism revved up, and you're less hungry throughout the day. So eat smaller meals. Eat 6 small meals per day, and make sure that they are healthy foods that you're eating. You can snack on some hummus and some crackers. You can snack on just like a handful of carrots and broccoli and those kinds of snack vegetables. That could be a meal. You start off in the morning, get your protein in the morning. Have some eggs, have some sausage, have a protein shake, some kind of protein in the morning to start your day off. That'll sustain you longer, and then eat every 2 hours after that. Snack on stuff, snack on vegetables, get your dips and your hummus and crackers. Just kind of snack like that throughout the day instead of 3 larger meals. Number 4 is drink something before you eat. There are a lot of studies out there that say the neurons in your brain that regulate both hunger and thirst are closely related. So sometimes if you think you're really, really hungry, you might just be thirsty. I know there's times after weight loss surgery that I thought that I was just hungry, and I'm like, why is my appetite coming back? Why is it just so crazy? And then I realized I only had 1 thing of water. I'm supposed to be drinking almost 3 of those waters. And there's days when I only have 1. And so sometimes I'm just really, really hungry, and it's not hunger, it's thirst. You can just be thirsty. They also found that drinking broth or eating soup before a meal reduced caloric intake by 100 calories because it satiates you. If you drink some broth or eat some soup, a healthy soup, we're not talking about some thick, heavy soup before you have your dinner, but if you drink some broth, maybe you drink some water, you get some fluid in before you eat dinner, that fluid will stretch out your stomach and sort of tell your brain that you're full. And so you eat less calories. And so make sure you're just not thirsty. And there's other studies that show that when you crave things like chocolate, it's your body telling you need other nutrients. I forgot what that is. I should have looked that list up. But you could look it up online, what my body is really craving. And it'll tell you, like, if you're craving this kind of sweet, it's your body is deficient in this nutrient. And so you need that nutrient, and you need to go and eat that instead. And then number 5 is that realize it's going to take time to change your eating habits, especially if you have a food and or sugar addiction. Your body is going to react negatively right away because you're doing something different. And so every time I did keto worked really well for me at first, and then when I had my gallbladder taken out, it stopped working. But every time I started keto, I knew I was going to have what they call the keto flu. And it's almost like flu-like symptoms that last for 2 to 3 days. It's your body is just really, really drained. You become dehydrated. You get a headache. You just don't feel well because your body is going through changes. And it's like it's went through this addiction to sugar for all this time, months or even years, being addicted to sugar, and suddenly you take that sugar out, you're not rewarding that dopamine center in your brain anymore. And so what happens? Your body withdraws from sugar. It's just like if you drink a lot of caffeine for a long period of time and you stop drinking caffeine, your body withdraws from caffeine. It's the same exact process. We get so used to eating certain foods or even drinking certain things, and our body gets used to it, and then if we suddenly cut that off, it's going to withdraw from that. So make sure you're prepared when you go into a diet knowing you're going to feel bad for a few days. Be prepared with electrolyte drinks. Be prepared with stuff for a headache. You're probably going to get a headache. You just need to be prepared for that. And so that's the biggest driver that'll drive you back towards eating the way you were before, because you just want to feel good again. You need that dopamine hit. You need whatever that is that just made you happy before, that gave you comfort, that gave you pleasure. And so you're going to run back towards that instead of continuing on with your diet. So if you're going to start a diet and you're going to start eating less and you're going to cut sugar out, just be prepared that you're going to feel sick for a few days. But what I noticed is after about 3 days, when I went on the keto diet, after 3 days, my head cleared. I feel like $1,000,000. I had so much energy. Like, you feel amazing. Like, there was this buzzing within my body that was just this good, overwhelming feeling of goodness and happiness as soon as I got sugar out of my system. So it's almost like, when you get that dopamine hit and you feel good, it's like it feels better than that even. So there's really no substitution for feeling and living and eating healthy. When you eat clean and healthy, you're just going to feel great. You're going to have so much energy. You're going to have more positive mindset. Your brain is going to be clear, and it's going to be a happier time for you. So you just need to realize that, like, that pleasure you get from food is nothing like how you're going to feel once you get healthy and clean. So that's a good reason to do it. So even if you don't do keto, try eating 6 meals per day. It can take about a week for your body to adjust to that. There's a lot of people who say that once I start eating 6 meals a day, I'm eating healthier, I'm eating cleaner, I'm getting the sugar out of my system, I just have a lot more energy, and I'm feeling great afterwards. So give it time. Go to your diet knowing it's going to suck initially. Be prepared for that suck. And then once it clears through, you're going to be a lot happier. So anyways, this is the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it and you got something out of it. Just to run it down again, eat more protein, cut out sugar, snack throughout the day, drink something before you eat, and realize it's going to take time for your body to adjust to your new eating habits. And if you do those things, then it's going to be a lot more successful down the road as you try to adjust your eating habits, and then just keep up with it. And if you fail, it's okay. Get back on. Get back on that horse. Get back on that bandwagon. Keep going. Keep pushing forward. Try making those changes again. Be more prepared for it. It's better to do that than to just, okay, tomorrow I'm going to diet, and then you jump in unprepared for what's going to happen, unprepared for the withdrawal symptoms, and it's going to hurt you in the long run. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, please like, please share. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. God bless.